Listen to the Voice of Survival podcast every other Friday, right here on the Journey into Comics Network. JourneyIntoComics.com.
The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
I'm a dude who likes brews. It's time for Brews with Dudes. Juicy.
Good evening, good afternoon, or good night. I'm Nick Maxon with Brews with Dudes, and we're coming at you with another episode. I've got with me tonight Mr. Austin Hill. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing fantastic.
Good. I like it when you're that way. I've also got Dr. Dongo.
Hey there.
In the studio.
I'm back.
It's just a living room. Let's not waste any time. What do we got here, Dr. Dongo? I believe that you provided the first beer of the night.
This is Amarillo Hero by Revolution Brewing. I saw this the other day as I was at the liquor store looking for Anti-Hero, one of my newer favorite beers because of this show. I saw that and I'm like, well, I've tried Death Star. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just go ahead and keep going with the Revolution Brewing and see what happens. So I got this and I got Floyd Division 5.
Ooh.
And I said, hey, Nick, let's try these on the show.
And I said, let's do it in 2 hours. And here we are, doing it 2 hours later. I'm a big fan of the Anti-Hero myself. Mm-hmm. I will admit that I have had this beer before, but it was in a party pack. I believe they called it the Heroes Pack, because they've got several. There's the there's the Amarillo. I believe they have a Cascade Hero.
Yes, Cascade Hero is very tasty too.
And there's another. So they do the heroes. Okay. They're all about it. They don't quite do it like Odd 13. Odd 13 comes up with like characters.
Oh boy.
And so every different beer has a code named this, code named that. And then they've got a cool little cartoon for each one of them.
These actually do have characters and different cartoon characters on each can for all the hero packs.
I don't know if I noticed, because if I may, it's just a little bland. It's it's just a dude in a trench coat with a hop hat.
I love their cans because like the Anti-Hero, it's just it's green with the white, or maybe is it green with the white or green with the just the silver of the can?
I think it's white.
I think it's the white. And then you got Death Star, which is the red with the white.
I think it's red and black.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
it's red and black.
It's a dark boy.
But the way they use the white or the black with as just like an accent, it's awesome. I love the way they brand.
So let's without further ado take our first swig of the night. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. It kind of... You can taste the ambers in it quite well right up front, and they just go down smooth and mix into the hoppiness really well.
Not nearly as hoppy as the Anti-Hero, I don't think.
No,
Yeah.
I would agree this is a little smoother. I believe I first fell in love with Amarillo hops with Gumball Head. Gumball Head uses...
wow.
I'm pretty sure... I'm going to feel the fool if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is what provides a lot of the flavor in Gumball Head is Amarillo.
And I hate Gumball Head.
Really?
Yeah. That was the first one I tried. And even after I'd been drinking IPAs and stuff for a little bit, I went back to Gumball Head to see if maybe my taste had changed, and has not.
I will admit that tonight for the first time in a long time, I had some zombie dust.
Yeah?
And it was great. It was out of a bottle, but it was the first time in months that I drank it and was like, damn, this is a good beer. Like, this is the beer that I remember. I might have just gotten spoiled on it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't like it on draft as much as I do in a bottle. But, yeah, earlier tonight someone brought over a zombie dust, and it was nice and cold, and I could just taste the complexity of all the flavors. It was fantastic.
I was telling you last night so we had planned to go over to my buddy Scott's house and drink and play Rock Band. We recorded an episode of my show, and
with him.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Look at Scott.
And that'd be his second appearance on the show.
Damn.
And
how deep are you in podcasters? Not quite 20, is it?
No, that probably was going to be episode 22.
Oh, wow. So I
did a bit of time traveling.
Okay, all right.
But no, so Miranda, my girlfriend, I said, hey, if you're going to want to drink tonight, just stop by the liquor store. And she asked me if I wanted anything. And I assumed she was going to go to 350 Liquors, which is right beside where she works.
I like that place a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan of 350.
She instead went to Barberry down the road, and she's like, they don't have it here. And I didn't know she was at Barberry. She's like, they don't have either of those guys. I wanted Floyd Division 4 and Anti-Hero. Mm-hmm. And they hadn't. She's like, they don't have any. I'm
so proud of you.
Like, what?
Your girlfriend hits you up for beer, and you name off.
I know, she's great.
You name off killer beers. Like, you wouldn't have done that a couple years ago.
No, I wouldn't have.
You wouldn't have done that a couple months ago.
No, I wouldn't have.
No. He's been better. In the past year or so, he got into some.
So she says,
she
says they don't have those.
Over here.
Yes, he does.
I do. She says they don't have those, and I'm like, what? Me still thinking she's at 350. I'm like, they always have those. I was like, where are you? She's like, Barberry. I'm like, oh shit. No.
Not there, babe. Go to the other place.
Then she tells me they have zombie dust. I'm like,
damn.
What?
Yes.
I'm like, I'll take that. She's like, okay, I already got you. She said they had 3 cases, which she meant 6-packs. But I thought case.
So you said,
yes.
Buy them all.
I said, I will give you the money for a case. She's like, oh, it's just a 6-pack. I'm like, oh.
No.
And there's only 3 of them.
3 6-packs is almost a case.
Yeah.
It's halfway there.
So later on that night, I still wanted the Anti-Hero and the Floyd Division, so I still went out to 350. But before I went to 350, I went to Barberry and picked up more zombie dust.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
They didn't have just 3; they had a whole row of them.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, whoa, no way! So I picked up 2 of them.
Sweet.
And went up to she's like, the cash register lady, she's like, should I be nice and actually let you take more than one of those?
So there was a limit.
There was. And I was like, I mean, I'm not going to be mad because you're just doing your job. And she's like, it's okay.
I don't give a fuck. And she rang it up.
And
what a woman.
Now I got 3 of them at home on top of all the zombie dust Miranda got me for Christmas.
How much were they, if I may?
I think I paid $29 for 2.
Okay, that's a little expensive. 15, 16.
They had the Hop Slam there too.
That's actually a little cheaper than
that was the next story.
Them
that was the next story I was going to dive into. Mm-hmm. Looks like yesterday was yesterday that you were texting me all this. So my buddy Brett and I, you guys know Brett, Mr. Maxwell. We made the 450 trip yet again.
Man,
I
want to go so bad.
I knew the Hop Slam was getting released, so I was like, I'm not going to go blow my whole wallet at 450. So I bought Austin here. I bought him some beer, and I bought myself some, but just a little bit. And I came back to town. Right when I got back to town, Austin's getting off work, and I'm like, he's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "I'm going on a beer venture." He's like, "Well, what are you looking for?" I'm like, "I'm looking for the Hop Slam." He's like, "Well, I'm going to run to Bedrock real quick, and I'm going to find out if they've got it." And they had several. I think he said 6 or 7.
Yeah, there was a whole stack of them.
So
there was,
and he tells me, how much they were. I think they were $18.50 a piece. And I said, okay, give me a second, because I know that the big stores get them too, and sometimes they're cheaper. So I called Payless. Payless said, we haven't got it yet. I called Meyer. They said they had it. And then I asked them how much it was. So they're like, oh, I'm sorry, let me go find out. So it took 3 minutes for them to find out if they had it. Then they were like, okay, let me find out if we have the price. It took 3 more minutes for her to find out. She's like, well, when we have it, they're $16.50. I'm like, so
wow.
You went from having it to not having it. She's like, yes.
A short 3 minutes.
We do not have it. So I called every other place in town. Most places didn't have it. One place, it was $19.50 with a 2 6-pack limit. And I'm still calling places. It's been 10 minutes. Austin calls me back. He's like, so what's up? I'm like, I'm just calling places trying to find the cheapest price. He's like, well, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here waiting for you to call me back. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck it, just go for it then. He's like, there are 5. I said, buy them all. So he asked if there's a limit, and they go and they ask a couple people, and they said no. So he bought 6. He ended up buying 6. He bought 1 for himself. He bought 5 for me.
Shit.
And we made off like bandits. But you know who made off more like bandits? Tex was telling me. So Indy got their shipments on like Wednesday. He said for a 2-hour period, Kroger had them, and you heard me, $18.50, $19.50, $9.99 a piece for like 2 hours. And I believe he said that 2 different people had come in and filled carts. They literally rolled through, and then after the second person did it, somebody was like, what's going on? And they asked around, and then they found out that they'd fucked up, and then they bumped it up to the $17 or so.
Wow.
So they got, some people made off like bandits for a minute.
Bandits.
I'm excited about my 5 at 18, but there were people
getting that buy one get one.
Yeah, buy one
man.
get one on it, and there's people that are sitting on 100, 200 cans of it right now. I'm jealous, but that's one of the beers that we're having tonight.
Yeah, about
some of Bell's Hop Slam. So
at 7 o'clock last night, there was a whole stack of them at Barberry. I thought about it, but I'm like, no. Nick already has some. I know he does.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go for it. I was done.
Somebody's new interrupting. But as I was at the Bedrock Liquors, they go, oh, we still have 10 cases of this left. We started off Monday with 11. And I'm like, you've only gone through a case in a week? They're like, well, it was during the week, and most people expected it today, so we're pretty sure a lot of it's going to fly off the shelves. And then I turn around 15, 20 minutes later, and I grab 6 six-packs off the shelf and take off out the door. So I just went a case down on them in one go.
And I bet you, let's see, with the Bourbon County, it took a month or 2. That made it to a couple bars. And for half of this, I think they're 10-ounce sniffers. I think they said it was $15 for a sniffer of this stuff. So I almost told myself, I'm like, if we want to pay for all this beer that we're buying, we need to go buy all that Hop Slam, sell them for $25 a 6-pack, and make some fucking money, because it's going to be gone in a week or 2, and it's only one time a year.
Yeah, it's probably almost gone now, just by the end of the weekend.
But it is a consistently highly voted for, like, we went to the Bell's beer school, and I believe they said they're available in 32 states.
Wow.
And so 32 states agree the Bell's Hop Slam is one of the best. They put out a picture that said that when they calculated the numbers, in one can of Hop Slam, there's more hops than in 72 cases of any popular light beer. You heard right.
Okay, light beer.
72
That's still a lot.
cases.
That's a ton.
72 cases of Coors Light, and in one can, there are more hops. I was like, guys, if that's true, then holy shit. That was the first thing that one of my buddies said earlier when we were drinking them. He's like, well, this tastes like a hop. I'm like, well, it's a real juicy one.
It's a very juicy hop. Very delicious hop.
So yeah, yesterday was a full day of beer fun for us, because then Austin came over and we made our beer trade. I gave him some of his Citra Nuggets and his Blizzard of Haze from 450. He gave me my Bell's Hop Slam. Then then poor Jess went to work, and Austin and my son went to his movie night. So I looked at Austin. I was like, I'm in the mood for sushi, and I'm still in the mood for beer. So we went and got some sushi. We went to Brokerage Brewing Company over in West Lafayette. They've been open maybe a month.
I think maybe a month and a half now.
And we have been there within the first couple days to try every beer. I think This would be so we had the cream ale. We had the new hop on the block or new kid on the hop, whatever. They had Charlie, the Imperial Stout. And then yesterday we had the lemur juice.
Yeah, the lemur juice was very tasty.
So that's what we did. We said we're going to go get some sushi. We're going to go try the new beer. While sitting there.
Actually on the way in, the coat I was wearing has a Dimmu Borgir band patch on it. And on the way in, this guy and his girl go, "Oh, hey, man, that's a great patch you got there." And I turn to go, "Oh, hey, thanks." And they immediately point out the sweatshirt I'm wearing. They go, "Oh, wait, is that a typo negative shirt?" I'm like, "It's a typo negative hoodie." And they're like, "Oh, man, that is so awesome." I'm like, "Hey, thanks." And then we decided to just sit just a few seats down from them on the corner of the bar there. And we kind of start chatting them up a little bit because
they see our sushi. They liked his stuff. Their slogan, Brokerage's slogan, is grab a beer, start a conversation.
I like it.
And you want to know why I believe that they mean that?
Because it happened.
Because that guy is the brewer.
Oh, wow.
The guy that we walked in and talked to ended up being the brewer. So we're walking out, and we just said it was nice talking to you guys. It was cool seeing you. And they see, so I'm walking out, I've got my jacket on, and they see my Mound Builders patch. And they're like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome. They've never been to town before, but they're clearly big metalheads. So he says he's new to town, and once he gets settled in a little bit, he's going to try to get down on the local scene, the local metal scene.
So
and Austin jumps in.
Go, "Oh, hey, this is Nick Maxson."
It just happens I control the metal scene.
Yeah,
and they knew it.
They immediately knew Doom Room.
This is the Doom Room guy, and they're both like, "Oh, great! You just booked Thorax not too long ago."
Oh shit!
And they already know who the fuck we are. You know what he does? We're talking about. I say something like, because we're not trying to bug him. We laugh, we're talking, and then we're getting ready to leave. And I'm like, "Well, man, just wanted to say that we love your beer. We've been here for everyone. We've tried them all. We really like them." And he goes, "Do you got a minute?" We're like, "Well, yeah, we got a minute."
Yeah, we got a minute.
He's like, "We're releasing a new beer tomorrow. I want to give you all a taste." So he runs back and gives us a sample of the new beer that hadn't even come out yet. He's a great guy.
Great guy.
Sounds like it. Sounds like I need to check this place out.
It was a wheat beer, and when I hear that, and it tasted like a wheat beer, it was good. Then it comes out today, and they're like, "This one's a sipper, 9.5%," and I'm like, the beer that we just drank, like, it did not taste like a 9.5 at all.
Oh no,
we only had a little bit of it, but it was like that was so smooth that you wouldn't even be able to tell.
A 5%, 5.5 tops, just because it had the back of a stronger beer, but it was so smooth and light going down. It was just, I can't believe that was a 9.5 beer.
It was fantastic. So I didn't go into terrible detail. So the first beer that they put out, this is, I'm going to take one more step back. So this is a new brewery in town. They've got a small system. It's a 3-barrel system, maybe 3.5 barrel. And this guy has worked at a couple different places, but this was his first time running the show. Mm-hmm. This is the first time he said in an interview that he got to pick the equipment. He got to install the equipment. He's playing with the equipment. So the first beer he makes and puts out is a cream ale. The next one was a West Coast style IPA. Then there was an American Imperial Stout. I believe the one we had last night, I think he just called it an IPA, but it tasted like an East Coast IPA, if that means anything to anybody listening. And then the one coming out, it just came out today. It was the
wheat ale.
Is some kind of a wheat ale. I can't remember
what
it was called.
He definitely, like, I saw him earlier go back and like go check the system, and I saw him tinkering with some stuff, and he made the comment that mentioning it's supposed to come out tomorrow, and he's hoping it will properly carbonate before the release tomorrow, and he's really hoping it will because he's really excited about this one coming out.
It was definitely good. It probably could have used a little more carbonation, but I wouldn't have been able to tell if he hadn't said it. I don't think I would have said something like, "Well, this could use some more carbon." I don't think I would have thought that.
I didn't think it at all. Like, even when he said it, it just kind of
It's like
confused me a little. I'm like,
whatever, dude. It tastes great.
This is
so
great. I don't see where the carbonation is needed.
So that was a really cool experience. He's been in at least one other time, and I wanted to say something, but it's almost like, I mean, this is going to sound weird, like kind of like celebrity fever. You know, you don't want to walk up to one of your favorite musicians and just gush about how much you fucking, you know, you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be that fanboy that they're like, yeah, hey, thanks. I get this all the time. And then,
so I was hoping that we got the perfect subtle moment where you could just be like, hey, by the way, your beer's fucking good, dude.
Good fucking beer, dude.
You make some good fucking beer.
It really did help how he talked to us first, and like
they were super sociable. Like
reached out to the whole. Oh, hey, you're a metalhead. So am I.
Yep.
Great.
Absolutely.
Great.
That's why I love wearing my patch jacket.
Yeah,
because it's just a conversation starter. Yeah. People are just like, oh shit, like this is the shit you like. You're just displaying it for everyone to see. So.
Yeah, and then on the way out, after we sampled his beer, I made the joke about what has being a metalhead ever done for you? Well, it opened up social lanes, and it's gotten me to meet people I never probably would have met before, and
absolutely
found channels that normally I wouldn't have gotten of if I wasn't walking around wearing metal patches and being a metalhead.
I think Jess brought it up the other day. She was talking to one of her friends, and they brought something up. Maybe something about bowling or something, and Jess is just like, oh, Nick knows a guy that owns a bowling alley, and apparently she'd done this kind of thing a couple different times, and they finally made the comment like, damn, Nick just knows everybody, doesn't he? And it's like, and she said, well, if he doesn't yet, he probably will soon. And it started with metal, metal was just the thing that, like, that's what got me in with people like OMFC and the Lafayette Theater, is like they weren't necessarily into metal, but I found a way for it to be an approachable thing for people that normally wouldn't have done it. So. Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think old boy's girlfriend said it. She was like, there are perks to being friends with the brewer. Like, and by friends, it's like we've been talking for 3 minutes, and all we really talked about was how much we love metal, Mm-hmm. So that's the number one bonding thing that I found in the past couple of years, aside from beer. People love talking about beer. People love, if you like good beer, then you like talking about the stuff that you like. And right now I'm much better at talking about metal. I could tell you about 20 different subgenres of metal. But I don't know if I could quite yet tell you about 20 different subgenres of beer. Not yet.
Not yet.
We're almost there, though. We're working on it. That's what this show is. This is the exploration. So, thank you, everybody that's listening right now. We're 22 minutes into our journey into beer. This is episode 15 or 16. We've been doing this for a minute. We've been having some fun. I just got word. This is pretty damn cool. That one of our last episodes, I believe episode 12, was the first episode on the Journey into Comics network that has had over 100 downloads. And I'm proud as fuck of us, but I want to point out how crazy it is, because they've had, I think Journey into Comics themselves are on episode 160 or 70, like about 74. Yeah, they're 75. They're bossing through it, and they've been doing it for a while. 4 years. I'm very no, not 4 years. Is it? Yeah, 4 years. If it's an episode a week, then it's at least 3 years, if not. Yeah. If not more. So 4 years. If there were no bye weeks. But all that being said, I wanted to take the time to thank everybody for liking us and for sharing our page. Statistics it's right there. It says it. Yeah. We got people listening to us, and we really appreciate it. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to try to do more fun things. I believe by the time this episode has come out, you will have already listened to our first Tap Takeover edition That's another thing that we're working on, working down at Jerry Lee's. We just talked to the gentleman at 450 North Brewing in Columbus. It was funny. I talked to one of the bartenders and asked about the distribution guy or the marketing guy, and kind of told her, I laid down the credentials. I'm into beer, like beer, brew podcast. And the guy walks out, and he sees us, and he goes, oh, it's these guys. Because he recognized us, because it's the same guy that's always standing there selling the beer. And we talk with him, joke with him, laugh with him. So when he walks out and sees us, he's like, holy shit, you guys, you're the ones that are all about it. So he said that they've got some stuff in liquor stores around here. There's 2 bars that have something of theirs on tap. And I said, we're trying to help our friend turn his bar into a spot for craft beer, They'll have everything you want, but you can also anticipate there being something that you haven't tried yet. So we did it with the Rheingeist. We did Austin and I and Brett and Zach, a bunch of the guys from the show regularly, went down there for Pinball League, and they still had some beer from
the takeover.
So we got the Sweet Tart. He said we've got a little bit of the Sweet Tart left, and when we're done with it, we're going to put the Andromeda. And I fucking love the Andromeda, so I was like,
so good.
Fill pitchers. Fill the pitchers with the Sweet Tart until it's empty. So we got 2. Luckily, his group of people, his wife and friends, they love the Sweet Tart. So they took 1 and we took 1. Well, then we got the Andromeda and started blending. We put a little bit of the Sweet Tart in with the Andromeda. I actually did it with my Anti-Hero, too. It was phenomenal. This whole blending thing.
Very good.
It's easier to do, I think, with sours, because it's easy.
I can see that.
It's easy to pick an IPA or something that's got open enough profile that you could throw something in to add a little bit of flavor. Goodness gracious, I'm talking a lot. Let's jump right into this next one. This is the Blizzard of Haze from 450. Cheers, boys. Juicy.
Very juicy. Very smooth.
That's real good.
Yeah. Extremely smooth.
Let me see if I can read up about this on the can.
Ascertain some information about this beautiful beer. I'll say while he's looking, it's the most plain can we've ever seen.
But it's so plain, it's cool. Like, it's all white with it's an all white label with a silver outline of the letters, with the letters actually being a little bit of a brighter white on the can, and that's it. And
it's a Blizzard.
I like it.
And it just works so well with the Blizzard of Haze. It gives you that whole feel on the can.
It's very, if you couldn't guess, it is hazy. It's very hazy. You can't see through it. It's juicy, but it's not too bitter. I believe they said it's somewhere around 6.5.
6.6.
Okay, so, yeah, and if I had to take a guess with the IBUs, I mean, it's no more than 50. It's not bad at all. I'm really digging this. When we went up, I got a case of this, and then this is not a case of it. I got a 6-pack, 4-pack. I got some of it. God damn, more than one. And then that was the beer that we tried there. We decided for once we weren't going to eat because we didn't have time, so we just snagged a beer. But that's what I tried, because I've tried pretty much everything else at this point that they've got.
Yeah, we've made a very solid dent in their beer list.
Oh yeah, and it is a great list.
It's more than a dent. Maybe there might be like a few crumbs left at the bottom of that sandwich bag, but
not much.
The meal itself has been very tasty.
I thought about the cow tipper, the milk stout. I really like the cow tipper. I like that some of the milk stouts that I've had lately have excellent names. Like, I don't remember what the other one was, but I had another one recently that was really good. But cow tipper,
I dig it.
You can ascertain, kind of what it's going to taste like. I'm really digging this one.
Yeah, this is really
It
good.
goes down easy.
Oh, I'm enjoying it so much. I've already put down half of my glass.
This is a lot better than the 450 North that I had last night, which I texted you about. That's the Starburst.
Yeah,
I liked it, but it wasn't the best.
No, it's not my favorite either.
It's definitely tasty. It's a little crisper and lighter than what you normally would expect from an IPA. But
was it hazy like this? Was it juicy?
I drank it from the can.
You don't remember?
No, I just drank it from the can last night.
So what if I said something like, I can taste the haziness. You can taste the juiciness. Did it have this kind of juice, or was it more of a straightforward kind of hoppy flavor? If
I remember right, I think it was a little more straightforward.
I don't exactly remember exactly how the Starburst is. I know I've had it.
To me, it was just it didn't hold anything special for me, so I just sipped on it most of the night, and that was kind of like my, I guess I'm gonna sober up now beer.
Well, that sucks.
Man, that's
I had to get us home somehow, so it worked out.
Poor Austin called me the other day. It was early in the afternoon. It was probably 4 o'clock or so, and he's devastated. He's like, Nick, the beer's bad. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I opened a can from 450, and it's bad. And we've heard the rumors because, like, when we've gone 3 or 4 times now, and I the first time I posted it, we had friends of ours that are like, oh, hope you don't get a bad one. I've got bad beer from there. And it was just like, sure, I know it happens, but it's just like, don't rain on my parade. And we'd bought hundreds of dollars of beer. We've drank over 100 beers from there, and we've never had a problem. And it came. It finally came. He's like, it's metallic, and we're struggling. We're like, okay. Did you drink it from the can? Okay. Did you pour it into a cup? Did you swish it around? How was the first taste? How's it? We're diving into it.
I didn't drink. I took the first drink from the can, and it was just kind of weird. But that's because that's what didn't fit into my Fruity Nuggets pint glass. So I was like drinking my 450 North from my 450 North special nugget pint glass. So I poured it in there, and I gave it the good tip and pull up so it'll do the proper mixture while you're pouring it. And I'm like, okay. And I'm on the phone with him. He's asking me these questions. So I'm like still trying to drink it. And it's hitting me more and more and more.
You're just doing a full breakdown of this experience. And it's just like, what went wrong? What went wrong? Okay, did you do this?
We were trying hard because I didn't, like what did you swish it around? Did you just open it and drink it? Like what happened? And he opened another one. He ended up opening another can, and it was just done for. And I
was done for.
I relayed to him my experience with Three Floyds. You might remember this story, Dongo. I bought a case. I bought. That was during the time when I would go and buy a case of Zombie, a case of Gumball Head, and just load the fuck up.
I think I know what story you're about to tell.
And I think there were 2 bottles that weren't filled up all the way.
Yeah, and then the wrappers were fucked up too.
The wrappers were just a little fucked up, and the beers were filled up like right to the neck, but the necks weren't filled at all. So I took a picture and posted something on Twitter. It wasn't rude. I was just like something like, "Oh, when you get the sacred beer and they're not filled up all the way, boo-hoo." Three Floyds within 30 minutes. Comments on the post like, "Can you send us some more pictures, just different angles, so we can verify that this is your beer?" It's like, yeah, definitely. And they're like, all right, if you send us an address, we'll take care of you. I was like, cool. So I did. And a couple weeks later, they sent me a whole new case.
I was here when you got the case.
2 beers out of the case. And
Unboxing
they sent me
that was
a whole
awesome.
new case of Zombie Dust. It was fucking Christmas. So then I had to go back to Twitter and be like, Three Floyds is the greatest in the world.
Yeah.
And they were. They're the greatest.
I think I may have had a bad one from there yesterday, but it could, I don't know. It wasn't terrible. So I had a Floyd Division 4 on Wednesday during my show with Dave and Tyler.
The chips.
And then, so last night I was like, I'm going to have another one. So I picked one up, poured it, and it didn't taste anywhere near as juicy.
That's not good.
Not good.
But I still have faith in them.
So we've had at least 3 and 4 Floyd Division on the show, but I know I've had them all. I know that I've drank all 4 so far, and I'm going to give it to him. Folks at home, are you ready for this? Dongo is the one that hit me up about 5 before I'd even heard of it. He said, have you tried 5 yet? I'm like, I didn't even know the 5 was out. So
yeah, well, I couldn't remember. Okay, so I knew I tried one of them on the show, and I was like, was it 4 or 5? And you're like, 4.
Definitely 4.
I'm like, oh, well, I'm
Definitely
looking
4.
at 5 right now.
Get it now. Luckily, we've been able to be a little bit lazy with Brews with Dudes because we've been kicking so much ass. We had a couple weeks where we would knock out 2 in a row.
Yeah, you got a nice backlog.
So yeah, I was excited to pull this together. We briefly talked about it earlier, but I think Dr. Dongo just commented on a picture of Austin and I drinking the other night, and one person says like, "Well, I'm going to bring this beer the next time we do it." Oh, well, when are we going to do it next? And I'm like, tonight.
Hell, let's do it. Yeah.
And we pulled it together in like an hour and a half, and here we are on a Saturday night.
That was actually on a post I made earlier about how I'm not leaving home because I had this fridge full of very delicious beer. And the top 3 were Citra Nuggets from Three Floyds, this Blizzard of Haze that we're very much so enjoying, and then my last 2 Super Nugget Brothers, in which I have. And then below that, you could see 6-pack of Hop Slam, a Vanilla Porter, a Coffee Porter, and a couple Pinners, and it was just a fridge full of all this really good beer. And I'm like, I just said, reasons I'm not leaving home tonight. and then here I am, over here at Nick's, drinking beer.
He even put on pants.
Yeah, I was going to say, you had your comfy pants on, you said.
I wasn't wearing clothes. I was wearing comfy pants and a robe. That's it. I had my beautiful bulldog all curled up in my lap, taking a huge bulldog snoring nap, and just relaxing on my couch, watching some movies, just
goddamn
for the
Last
night.
night I was trying to get in my comfy pants, and Austin would not take the hint. We're playing games. I'm like, I fucking hate your game. He's like, let's watch Blade Runner. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fall asleep if we watch Blade Runner.
New one or the old original?
New one.
I still need to watch both, but I want to watch both.
You haven't even seen the first one?
No, I haven't.
Can we do that together? Can we do a marathon?
Quite possibly.
Together?
I'm down.
Not tonight, obviously.
Yeah,
we don't have 6 hours.
You got about a week
before
Monster Hunter drops, and I'm dead to the world.
I totally meant, one of my buddies reminded me that they were doing the beta this weekend, and I wanted to download it and play it.
You can do that tomorrow still.
I might do it just to get the feel for it, because I like good games.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
That reminds me to hit up my brother and try to play a couple hours of Destiny 2 with him tomorrow, because he recently picked up that game, and I had pre-ordered it the first chance I could because I was a huge Destiny guy. I played that one for its back when it was beta still, and I never stopped playing until a little before Destiny 2 came out.
Go ahead.
I heard a lot of good things about Destiny, but I've never been a shooter kind of guy. Like, if I told you guys I played one shooter, would you know what it is?
Halo.
GoldenEye. Come on, guys.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Well, everybody's played that.
Yeah, everybody's. To be fair,
a shooter until shooters were a thing. That was just a good game.
I was never big into Destiny. So Austin, I think what he said was one of his favorite games of all time. He gifted me this past Christmas the BioShock pack, which is every game, all the downloadable, like the master pack. So I've got that on dock. I've got Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age on dock. I've got Skyrim Legendary Edition on dock.
Which reminds me, I should get my copy back since you have that.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got 6 or 7 games, and I picked up Horizon on the nasty sale, But then Austin gave me that super sick pack for Christmas. I'm like,
Hey, that's
you've been
all right.
asking. I said, you've been asking for Horizon for forever.
Just take
Just
it.
take it.
Yeah,
So I gave
kept-
Austin my Horizon. So I got to go find another fucking Horizon now.
I'm
to
glad.
play
I'm
the
glad
downloadable
you.
stuff.
I'm glad you finally got that to borrow because I kept forgetting every
I'm
time
not
I'd
borrowing
come.
it.
Oh,
No, it's his. It's his. I gave it to him.
I kept thinking, oh man, I should bring over my copy of Horizon for Austin, and I kept forgetting.
No, I was nice enough. I keep telling people, that I want to get a Switch. I want to play Mario Odyssey. I want to play Breath of the Wild. And it's like, dude, finish the 7 fucking games that you've got. And if you think about it, and I may not have paid for all of them, but 7 games, $50. We're literally talking hundreds of dollars in games that I'm sitting on. It's like, I just need to fucking play them already.
Play those games already. I highly suggest you dive into BioShock first.
I know.
And I
keep
like the
hearing-
way you called out my jacket when I walked in today.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. So, we're about ready for another beer. We just got into some video game talk, so we had kind of a funny story. So, a couple of years ago, Dr. Dongo used to live at the Doom Room.
Yeah,
And,
which is also why I stopped playing Destiny.
good.
And I'll tell you
Doesn't
why.
live at the Doom Room.
There's a couple people who have.
I'll tell you why I stopped playing Destiny. I was pretty hard into it before I moved in here because it came out like a month before, and so I move in here and I'm upstairs, and at the time we had a different Wi-Fi router, and I couldn't get shit for Wi-Fi signal up there.
It sucked. It still sucks.
And so it was fine. After like a couple weeks, you changed things out. You got rid of the previous roommate's Wi-Fi. And then it was fine, but like that before that, I was like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything on this, and that sucked. So I was like, fuck it. I was burnt out on it anyways.
I am in a constant battle with the Comcast, the Xfinity, whatever the fuck. It's like they piss a bunch of people off and then change their name, so we won't notice that it's still them. Like, So Nick hated Comcast for a couple years, but now we're Xfinity. Let's see if you. Guess what? You've pissed me off as Comcast, and you've pissed me off as Xfinity. It's time to change your name again, assholes. I'm not buying it.
Have you tried? Do you know if MetroNet comes out here?
They do not.
Oh my god!
But you know what I say every time, and they probably know. I just threaten them, and I've done it. I've done it 4 times now, where they're like, "We're gonna try to slip in $10 extra this month," like, and I call every time. I'm like, "Why is this up?" Well, because of this, that, and the other. I'm like. You're well aware that there are other companies that charge cheaper, and if I canceled service today, I could go get it from them today. And I'm bluffing totally fucking bluffing.
Yeah.
They fall for it every time though. So, but I'm okay right now. I think for some reason my computer's the problem. She's I don't know what's wrong with her, but every couple days they'll pop up with a screen that says error, something went wrong. I'm like. I spent $1,400 on this computer. Nothing better ever go wrong with it. But I want to dive into this. We got off subject. So Dongo used to live here, and he got a subscription to Game Informer. It was probably just added on to a like.
It was my power up.
Yeah, whatever.
When you sign up for that, you immediately get a year subscription.
So that happened, and we are talking years ago. This is 2014 or 15.
14.
Like, is a long time ago. And you weren't here for more than a year or something,
I was here for 5 months.
So, and then he switched his address and everything. But anyway, Game Informer kept sending me his Game Informers. And then eventually he noticed it, and he really didn't care for months, for a very long time. But eventually he did change his address. So then Dick started getting his copies. But I kept getting his copy. So now Dick and I are both getting copies of Game Informer on one account. They've been telling me your subscription's coming up for literally months now.
Which is funny because I renewed it Black Friday.
And they still they're going to give it to me. And here we are, first month into 2018, and I'm still getting them. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the games that they called out. But we should probably start talking about this beer that we've got in front of us now. This is one that I provided for the fun. It is Bell's Hop Slam Ale.
Ooh. Sounds like
what?
we foreshadowed this earlier.
We did. So on the cover, it's a totally green, but on the front there is a dude being smashed by hops. He's totally. You can just see his hands and his feet sticking out. It is a double India Pale Ale brewed with honey. What else do they have to say about it? Oh my goodness, it goes all the way around the can. An exceptionally aromatic blend of hops combined in this balanced interpretation of the double IPA style, best enjoyed as fresh as possible. It doesn't say, oh there it is, 10% by volume. Shelf life 3 months. Do not filter. Independent craft signal. So they haven't sold out to the corporate overlords just yet. They're still considered craft brewers. Austin and I have been talking about doing another brew tour. A couple months ago, we did Founders, 18th Street, and then we hit up Fort Wayne for a show. So it was just 2 breweries in a show, but it was definitely a beer-inspired weekend. We wouldn't have gone to do the other things if we hadn't gone to get the beer. So we're working on another trip up north. We want to hit the Dark Horse. We want to hit a place that, what is it? I don't remember what it's called, but it's a fucking medieval-themed brewery in
Excited
Michigan.
about that. And I really want to, not to take away from the medieval-themed brewery.
Dragon's Mead.
Dragon's
Mead.
Yes, it sounds so awesome. Like the whole
place is medieval themed. The beers
all the taps
are
designed with like castle towers and dragons and serpents and all that.
It looks fucking sick. So we're planning this trip, and Bell's is on the list. We definitely want to go visit Bell's because I'll be the first to admit, Two Hearted is one of the best beers that I've ever drank. It's just a super, super solid beer.
I can never say anything bad about it. It's always one of those like, oh, you got Two Hearted? Yeah, I'll drink that. I'll drink some Two Hearted.
I'll take it anytime. This is a seasonal beer. They only put it out once a year around this time. So when Austin said he found a couple 6-packs of it, I said, buy as much as you can. So let's dive right on into it.
Ooh. Oh, that is definitely what I like about a heavy hoppy ale. Like this just wraps your tongue in hops.
That's strong.
What's that look for, Dongo?
Tell us all about it, Dongo.
I'm not a fan.
Yep. Yep.
No, okay. So, smelling it, I was like, I immediately looked over at my girlfriend and I said, I'm not going to like this. I tasted it.
It is Hop Slam. It is 10%, and they both knew. They're like, oh yeah. Fuck no, he ain't going to like this.
But tasting it, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I can't even say I don't like it because it's not bad.
It's just very overwhelming with the flavor. If you're not used to something very heavy and hoppy, this one's gonna overtake you a little bit. It'll tell you how you like it. You're not gonna tell it how you like it.
You remember the statistic that I stated earlier? 1 can of Hop Slam has more hops than 72 cases of a regular light beer. So,
and you can tell. You can tell.
Hoppy. They don't really go into where it all comes from or what it is, and I don't personally know. I've, as you guys know, I've had a contentious relationship with the R&D department, so they don't really tell me these things. But I'm certainly enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, this
I know
is good.
Dongo is wondering why we put him in this hell.
I'm on the fence about it.
I would say that this is about it. The Citra Nuggets, not this hoppy, and then the Foy Division is it's the Foy Division. You've already had it 4 times. This is just the 5th iteration.
Yeah, 5th iteration of Floyd Division. I was actually looking at Floyd Divisions earlier. There was 2, 3, 4 at the Bedrock Liquors I was at. And I was actually kind of surprised that 2 was still available.
Yeah, I gotta wonder about the shelf life on that.
I was like, that there was only 1, so I could understand that there only being 1. But I kind of was like, why is there still 2 around? Like 3, I was still kind of wondering about how long that's been there too. But it's still cold. Mm-hmm. It's not getting a bunch of sunlight. properly stored,
Yeah.
so it couldn't be bad.
Last night when I was picking up stuff, when I picked up my 4, I had also a bottle of 3 because I was like, oh, I wonder what that tastes like, and so I had 3, 4, and then that's when I saw the 450 stuff. They had 6-pack Nug, Starburst, and I think the Blizzard Haze.
Yes, the Blizzard of Haze.
Yeah.
They already had it out.
Maybe, I don't know. If I remember, I could be wrong.
They are doing-
They had another besides the Starburst.
They are doing a distribution of it, so
So we should expect it. And honestly, I would buy more.
Yeah, that wasn't
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
I'm glad I got what I got for you picking up from me. Like, I'm glad I was able to get that so I can get a good palate knowledge of it and just remember it for when I do start seeing it on the shelves.
Yeah, but I put away the 3 in exchange for the Starburst.
I'm sorry that I shamed you.
Oh, no,
He did
it's all
ask
good.
me, and I said, I think you'd like the Starburst.
I mean,
but
I did not like it. It's just, it's not my
Wasn't
favorite.
necessarily your thing.
It didn't hit me to where I'm like, oh, I'm definitely gonna buy this again. But it was, like I said, it was a beer. I still have some, so
I use an app called Untapped, and it pretty much lets you check in the beers that you've drank. It's like a catalog of the beers that you've drank.
I'm gonna hit that up.
And they give you an option to leave notes about your beer. And a lot of the times, I pretty much just leave comments that say, "Would I buy this again?" You know, it's like it's good. It's not good. Would I buy it again? Would I not buy it again? Because I might like a beer. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna like
Buy it again.
I guess a good example, because it's right in front of my face. I like Amarillo Hero.
yeah.
I'm probably not going to buy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy any more of it.
I'm gonna stick to the anti-hero, but
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, I feel the
For
same way.
sure.
I enjoyed it. And if somebody goes, oh, hey, would you like, I got this, would you like one of those? I'm going to go, oh, yeah, that's a good beer. I'll have that. But I'm not going to go out and be like, man, I'm picking up some beer for the weekend, sit in my house, make sure I got my Sunday beer ready to go.
Better get that Amarillo
Gonna grab
Hero.
that Amarillo Hero.
Nah.
Not to talk down on it, but it's not
Yeah.
my, got to make sure I have it when I can't have it.
I imagine your notes on that are just like juicy, not juicy,
Good.
Kinda juicy.
Great. Love it.
so juicy,
Yeah.
not juicy at all.
Austin and I were just talking about it last night. I'm at about just under 90, I think, that I've checked in with, and we joke all the time about how you're supposed to check in your beers on the moment. You can't sit
Yeah.
there. I give Austin shit because he'll be like, well, earlier in the week I drank this beer, I'm going to check in. I'm like, don't you fucking do it. You have to rate the beer in the moment. You got to drink the beer and rate it. And he's like, Nick, you're a sore loser. I'm like, yes, but also... So,
but also,
I set the unnamed rules of Untapped. You're not allowed to do this.
well,
but,
I'm going to do it anyway. And he was blowing me shit for like the 20 minutes I spent checking into like 15, 20 beers. And he's all like, that's cheating. You're getting these badges for checking in with beers you're not even drinking. Because
they give
drinking
you-
so much.
Yeah, they give you what they're like rewards. If you play fucking video games on PlayStation or Xbox, they give you achievements. And Untapped is the same way, where they, you know, like, if you drink so many IPAs, they give you an award. If you drink beers that are below 5%, they give you... There's awards for absolutely everything. But guess what? There's awards for...
Drinking a bunch of beer in one sitting.
Drinking 5 beers in half an hour. So Austin's sitting there recounting the past week, and they're like, damn, you're an alcoholic. And I'm like, you don't deserve to be called an alcoholic. He's like, but Nick, you know I am. I'm like, damn it, you're right.
Craft brewing has given my addiction a hobby.
I know. So Dongo, I've got a couple things I wanted to talk about tonight.
Hey there.
I'm excited about.
I'm here for you.
I'm excited about the video games. I've been thinking about video games a
Yeah.
lot lately. So what was your favorite of last year?
Of last year?
It's still early. So what if you can remember?
Of 2017, I pretty much played 2 games, I think, if I remember right. I played Horizon Zero Dawn
Bravo.
and Assassin's Creed Origins.
Okay.
Horizon Zero Dawn, hands down, best game of 2017.
I'm bold enough, and I've told you this, and I'll say it. I don't play games very often anymore.
Same.
I used to a lot when I was younger, but I don't play as much anymore. That being said, I played some games in between Horizon and another game I'm going to bring up, but I put Horizon up on a pedestal as one of the best games I've ever played. And when I think of the last best game I ever played, it's Skyrim.
Yeah.
So I played Skyrim right when it came out. I've not played any of the expansions, but Skyrim came out, and Final Fantasy XII had already come out. I can't think of a lot of other RPGs that came out. I'm a Square Enix kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I have a very hard time branching off. Because I'd heard of these Elder Scrolls. You know, I've heard of Morrowind, and I've heard of Oblivion.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my comfort zone. And I wasn't, you know...
Oblivion was great.
I heard that one of them, that they do it on the internet, and there's just a lot of aspects to it, which... Thinking now, I love, you know? Like, people say that Skyrim is the most user-friendly version.
I would give it that, yeah, for sure.
Did you play any of the old ones, Austin?
Oh, yeah, I played... I didn't play Elder Scrolls 1 or 2, but I did play Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. I played quite a bit of that. I played a ton of Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4, which was really good, even into the expansions with it. And then when Skyrim dropped, like, before it even came out, I already knew I was going to get it. I was going to get it. But at the time, I was like dealing with whether or not I was going to get it for the 360 or the PS3, because I was still strongly considering which system I was going to continue my gaming on.
I went for PS3, and after 300 hours, it wouldn't keep up. My PS3 was really mad after 300 hours. They were like, dude, I can't keep up with this shit. So would you say that Skyrim is the most user-friendly? If you've never played it before.
Yeah, if you've never played an Elder Scrolls game, Skyrim is
by far
probably
the one to get into.
like the
by
absolute,
far.
like you get in.
Because I see
I would
people-
either say try to pick up Morrowind on one of your older systems and mess around with that. Don't try to like play the game and get into it. Just mess around with it just to get an idea of the mechanics and the way the game works and the screens and and the character development aspects. Because once you're comfortable with those and you go from the old ones into Skyrim, you're much more prepared and much better prepared to build a more complex, less straightforward character.
And that's the biggest impression that I've got, is that and I've seen the charts that just lay it out. You know, it's like, how many attributes do you have in the game? And it shows Oblivion, Morrowind, Skyrim. And it gets less and less. They're simplifying it, which I love, because the beginning of this discussion was me saying, I don't want to branch out. I don't want to do something new. I want something that's easily accessible,
comfortable.
So what I would want, if I may, perfect world, I wish that when they did updates to Skyrim, it made it more like Morrowind or Oblivion, where it's like you can play on veteran mode, or you can play on master mode, or you can play on
legendary mode,
necromancer of the world, you know. And they just add to it, because there are games that are like that, where it's like if you go to higher difficulties, they add things that make it different. I love Skyrim. I want to play Skyrim better. I don't want to play Oblivion, because Skyrim's better. It's got better graphics, you know. It's like if you're gonna make it, accessible for everybody, then just be fucking creative with it, you know? Like, maybe make a mode that, like...
Yeah, for sure.
On Legend, like, because I think that what they do, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, I know that some games, when you up the difficulty, they add enemies, you know? Mm-hmm. But a lot of the times what they do is just make enemies harder.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're...
Fallout, like, take Fallout 4 or any... I don't know.
Bethesda,
yeah. Once again, and Fallout uses the Skyrim engine, but the harder the difficulty, the harder it is to come across ammo.
And it's like I wish if you're gonna change things like that, like instead of my upgrade board having 10 options, give me 15. Like, just make it a better game. Like, make the incentive.
Make it a more complex game.
Make the incentive to play it more, that it becomes a more complex game.
Are you trying to give your beer to me?
Yes, I am.
He's done.
I'm trying to speed it along, and I'm not. I'm going to take forever to drink that. I know I am.
But to add in with the harder it gets, or the more powerful you become in a game, the changing of enemies or more difficult the enemies are. It actually reminds me of the game Fable. Have either of you played Fable?
Yes.
I've always wanted to, but I never have.
But the original Fable
is a game changer.
The further along in the game you got, the more powerful you got,
the
enemies would change up. You would actually start getting more difficult enemy encounters in the wild. Instead of getting like your base like rats and beetles and stuff, you'd start getting bandits, or you'd start getting which were just kind of random bandits, and then it would just keep building up to more complex and harder.
There is a
enemies.
new Fable game coming out.
So you have not played Fable?
I have not. I have always wanted to.
The thing about Fable, and I know that it's in a couple different games nowadays, and if anybody knows, either one of you two or anybody listening, I would like to know your input. But as far as I can tell, Fable was the first game that I played that said, you can do this mission this way or that way. You can be a good guy or a bad guy, and the entire story changes. Like, if a main character decides all of a sudden, like, I don't agree with you, dog, you can either try to talk to them, or you can fucking kill them. And Fable was the first game that you could become you could become an angel, or you could become a fucking devil, and they gave you the ability. And then you would see the physicalities of your character change based on the decisions you were making. Right. And I always say that there is a game that makes you buy a console. We've probably talked about this. Nintendo 64, for me, Ocarina of Time. Mm-hmm. PlayStation 1, Final Fantasy 9. Xbox, Fable. Halo.
Halo and Splinter Cell were the Xbox sellers.
But as we talked about, I'm not a shooter.
The RPG aspect, Fable was
the
for
reason
you bought an Xbox.
Because it was originally Xbox
and
exclusive,
I'm not a shooter.
I'm
not a shooter. So yes,
and the sole reason. And then Fable 2 was the sole reason I bought an Xbox 360. Like, I wasn't going to get it. I was going to move on to PlayStation. But Fable 2 was an Xbox only release, so I bought a 360 just so I could get that game.
I got the 360 for the Guitar Heroes. Instead of being a decent human being and learning a real skill, I spent 300 hours playing Guitar Hero.
At least you can button mash like a son of a bitch.
I can button mash like a son of a bitch, but ask me if I can play a real guitar.
Sorta.
No, yeah, right. It's like, but
it's not from playing that game.
But I'll be the first one to say that if I had spent as much time playing guitar as I did playing Guitar Hero, I'd be better than a lot of people that are in bands locally right now. Because I literally spent hundreds of hours playing. Yeah. If I had focused that energy on anything else, then I'd be all right. But I had a lot of fun playing Guitar Hero, and I give Guitar Hero the credit for introducing me to better music. I listened to okay music, but when I started playing Guitar Hero, it made me think about the guitars. And I was one of those brainwashed millennials. It's vocals. Everything is vocals.
Yeah.
You listen to bands and guitar solos are cool and riffs are cool, but the vocalist is what drives it. Guitar Hero 2, specifically, was what made me go, fucking guitars are cool as fuck. And the number one thing, if I'm giving Guitar Hero the credit, the next thing I'm giving credit is Buckethead. Because Guitar Hero introduced me to Buckethead, and I listened to Buckethead, and he was just...
He's a god amongst men
such
when it comes to guitars.
Such a